After spending a couple of great days at Belita and the Judbarra National Park, we say farewell and it's time to make a move. The next camp is one that we'd been looking forward to. Having driven past the turn-off on many occasions, we were finally going to check it out. As we travel back down the 47-kilometre road, we come across a pair of brolgas strutting their stuff on the road. Brolgas are one of Australia's largest flying birds. They stand 1 metre tall and have a wingspan of up to 2.5 metres. The name brolga is taken from the Aboriginal language, in which they are called barolga. Brolgas can be found across tropical North Australia, throughout Queensland and in parts of Western Victoria, central New South Wales and southeast South Australia. They feed and breed in open wetlands, coastal mudflats and irrigated croplands, occasionally visiting estuaries and mangrove creeks. So we're just outside Timber Creek, and from now on there's going to be a lot of reference to the Durack family, really early pioneers of the area. They befriended a lot of the original Aborigines out here, and many of them became long-time friends and helped them to do what they did in the area. So as we move forward into the Kimberley area, into the Kimberley region, we will be referring to the Durack family a little bit more. Certainly were the early pioneers of the area. So we arrived at we just arrived at the entrance to the Keep National Park. There's a couple of options that we had to camp. One is Jamin, which is this one up here, but this walk is actually closed. So what we're going to do, we're going to camp down here, where we can actually have, we can actually run a generator if we need it. We've had a couple of days and the freezer's knocking the sort of putting a fair bit of pressure on the battery, so we'll see how we go. But there's some walks in here, there's walks in here, some stuff to do up and around here. So we're going to head in, find ourselves a campsite, get all set up, and then we're ready for some lunch. What else is on this side? That's just about the parks along the Victoria Highway. On the board, they do this really well actually. And then on this side we've got the Keep River National Park Visitors Access. Here we go. So last updated on the 3rd of the 5th. Loose rock and gravel with bull dust and corrugations and early wet season storm damage. So So not a bad little setup we've got here, I do say so. Alright, well we'll go and get set up and have some lunch. See you there. So about the park, it's actually quite small in comparison, but the scenery and landforms are just as spectacular as the bigger parks. Situated 3 kilometres from the Western Australian Northern Territory border, it covers an area of around 700 square kilometres. The park allows you to see 2 different sides of the area that marks a change in geology. You're about to leave the dramatic escarpments of the Victoria River country behind and will now discover the intriguing sandstone ranges that characterise the Kimberley. There is spectacular geology, Aboriginal sites and many different habitats within the park. The geological formations are particularly spectacular and walks from the campground offer the interested opportunities to explore this unique landscape. The sandstone habitats host notable species like the short-eared rock wallaby and white-quilled rock pigeon. Touring, travelling, overlanding, whatever you want to call it, this is a reminder of why we love doing this. How cool is this backdrop for our camp for the next few days? Well guys, here we are at the Keep River National Park at one of the campgrounds. And we thought it was probably a good opportunity to introduce you guys to our latest fire pit. It's a product from Lifedoo. Now, we really didn't get a chance to test this. It arrived a few days before we were due to head away on our trip. So the unboxing thing is left, the box is still at home, because I've got to tell you, we didn't have room to put much else in there. So we want to just quickly run through some of the changes, the changes that they've made. We did get the first version and it really didn't breathe that well, I didn't think. Now, we've had numerous fire pits. This thing is just, it's right up there. It weighs in at just under 12 kilos. It comes with a grill for grilling. These little inserts that sit on top in the slots, so your grill plate can sit on top. It's got a tray at the bottom to catch all the ash. It's situated a little bit up off the ground so that there's plenty of air can flow through this one. So we're pretty impressed. We've actually used it 3 or 4 times so far on the trip. So we thought, well, we'd give it a crack first before we put anything down on video. But we are absolutely impressed with it. It cranks off. Well, last night it was basically full of ash. We cooked choppies on it, and yeah, a great result. So we are going to set it all up, and tonight we'll set a fire in it and just show you guys. Was an ant biting me? Show you guys how it functions. But it's pretty simple to put together. What they've done is there's a slots in the ends, so the tags go through. It drops down in, so it can't come apart. 2 on the bottom, on both ends. So you've got basically 4 pieces. Then you've got a grill in the. So there's your grilling plate. There's your 3 pieces that go across to hold the grill plate. In the bottom of it, they've got a little vent, so that actually holds the ash. Now there's 2 positions that it can be set at. So if you want to use it as a fire pit with wood, let's sit in, there we go. If you want to use it with wood, you can use it in this configuration. They've also designed it so you can use it with coals. So what it does, it actually lifts the level up so the coals sit a lot closer to the grill. So all in all, it's great. As I said, it's a bit under 12 kilos. It packs up flat. It actually packs inside this piece of tin, and really easy to transport. We'd like to see a little bag come with it. We've made up our own canvas bag for it to sit in. And again, yeah, packs flat. It's great. So we're very appreciative of Lifedoo. They've sent this to us. We were quite surprised actually, but they'd seen some of the stuff that we'd done, and we have used, we started off using washing machine barrels, and then from there we generated we've had a couple of similar sorts of things. We've got another one that weighed was well in excess of 24, 25 kilos. So this is about half the weight. And obviously when you're travelling, weight becomes an issue in the camper. So all in all, we're pretty stoked, we're pretty impressed, and we appreciate the support that Lifedoo have given us. So if you want to know more information about them, check them out on their website. Lifedoo have been very innovative. So their first model, this is the second version, I believe, of it. It is about 3mm plate, so it does distort a little bit, but because it's so thin, it's quite easy just to pull back into shape. And we've done, we've had a heap of cooks in it, and I haven't had to modify it or bend it back yet. So it's all fitted back into place. True to their word, Lifedoo's users are their designers, so they're taking the feedback that they're getting from people that are using the earlier models and creating a better product. We got up at daybreak, had a quick cuppa and a muesli bar, then headed off to the walk just near camp. The Garandalang, meaning Brolgas, is the walk depicting an Aboriginal Dreamtime story, meaning the place of Brolgas. This is something that you really need to come and experience for yourself. The track is well marked, and signs tell the story as you move amongst this amazing scenery with jaw-dropping backgrounds around every corner. You first climb up into the Sandstone area, this then follows a plateau. Tall Livingstone palms, remnants of a wetter age, can be seen clustered at the base of the sandstone or precariously clinging to life in the cracks and crevices high up in the weather-sculptured cliff face. In the shade of rocky cliffs grow fan palms and wattle bushes with bright yellow pom-pom flowers. The area is part of the geological formation known as Kelly's Knob Sandstone. The grains of sand are fine and in even layers, indicating that they were deposited far offshore in the seas that once covered this area. Some species of plants are well adapted to the tough conditions of the sandstone cliffs and are able to extract food and water from this harsh landscape. Elephant ear wattle is just one of them. Evidence in the rocks above you will see stunted tropical redbox. The struggle to survive these tough conditions results in the corked, gnarly shape. Its tiny brown fruit are the smallest gum nuts of all the eucalypts. The tall grass fringing the campground is marling, or sand soil cane grass, and can grow to over 2 metres annually. On the way back to camp we came across this little fella, basking in the rays of the morning sun. Then it was back to camp for a feed of bacon and eggs on the Weber.
Let's have some brekkie, John.
Absolutely. After brekkie, it was a short drive to the ranger station and information centre to look at the other options we had within the park. So what day is today?
Today, I think it's Tuesday.
Okay, let's say
it's Tuesday?
It's the 18th, whatever.
Tuesday.
Tuesday, okay. So now we've established what day it is. We've been camped in at the Keep River National Park. We camped in there last night, and this morning we got up nice and early at sunrise, as you saw, and did a lovely walk out through the back of the campground. Some spectacular stuff there, absolutely iconic. Look out, we're just about to go through Bailme Up Creek. Well, there's nothing in here. So we thought we'd take advantage. We're going to stay here for probably a couple of days. So we've gone for a drive because where we camped is about halfway in the park. So we've driven back out to the ranger station, had a look at the interpretation centre that they've got there, which is, I must say, is really well done. You know, the Northern Territory Parks and Wildlife, and I know there's other states we haven't visited that much, but these guys do it really, really well.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah. So we're going to go and have a look at the Lagoon. So we're going to the ranger station, the Lagoon, then we're going to go back to a place called
Ginger's Hill.
Ginger's Hill, and I'll talk a little bit more about that. But that's quite a story. When we get there, we'll sort of show some pictures of that, and we'll chat about that, and then we'll see how we're going. There's another walk which takes a couple of hours. It is sort of heading towards the middle of the day. When is it now? It's towards
12 o'clock.
So it's 27 degrees. It's not stupidly hot, and we've got plenty of water, so we'll probably end up doing that. It's not ideal to do it in the middle of the day, but it's only a couple of hours, so it shouldn't be too much of a problem. All right, so we'll move along to these places and show you some footage as we go.
I've seen the redwood parrot and little corellas and the brown honeyeaters.
Yeah, I reckon that's what was in around that tree last night. I tried to pick up the grey.
I reckon it could have been the frybird because it's more got that.
Oh yeah, this one here. Yeah.
Here you go, John. This can be why the roads are closed back where we've just come from.
Behind the information centre is a lagoon filled with bird life. Looks like I'm going to be here for a while.
This is it. This is the Ginger Hill Walk.
How important is that? This bird hide that we can see here behind us was used by the traditional owners. What they would do was actually come and light a fire, hide in a hide, light a fire, and then the hawks would come to check out the fire, as they know that if there's fire then the vermin are starting to run around and get out of the fire, so they'd come and investigate, and they'd actually put lures out, and the hawks would come in from the smoke, find the decoys there. As they went to pick the decoys up, the guys would grab them. This is an original setup. This is how it was. So they would hide down in here, and then light. There, that's just crazy. Hide there and lure the hawks in. Whooshka, gotcha. Kentucky Fried Hawk for dinner. Well, we've arrived to the end of this little walk, and this is specky. Have a look at this. Catch me if I fall over, Liz.
Okay.
See, catch me if I start to fall over. Wow. Wow, look at this.
Amazed at how that tree has got the root system.
Up, it's still in there. So where's it get its water? It must get water coming through those,
Yeah.
from up the top down. The shelter. So this is where they used to come and live during the wet season. There are many shelters like this in the Keep River National Park. The Mirrawong people use these overhangs to shelter from the rain during the wet season. As you look around, you see some of the things left behind. You're standing on a midden that is over 1 metre deep. It's bones, shells and tools left by the Mirrawong people over thousands of years. Most of the shells in this midden are muscled shells. Notice the rocks on the ground with hollows where seeds have been ground in preparation for damper like bread. Let's have a look. You just see the hollow in the rock where they would have ground the seeds to make the flour, to make the damper. Not a bad sight. Holy golly, it'd just be unpredictable when you look at the cliffs and the sandstone, and you see the chunks that have fallen out of this damn thing. I wonder how many of them got killed, crushed from rock falls.
I wonder how many lost their lives.
Yeah.
Now that story, that boy that went walkabout.
That's
never
it.
came home.
It never came back. That's it. And when you look here, like this is almost, look, that looks like part of where the river floods up to. So it probably came right up to here. I don't know how much water it'd need before it got to that level, but up until this point, I'd had no issues. Then there was a realisation that these rocks in front of us had come from somewhere, and at any time others could be dislodged and join them. So we retreated to the safety of the riverbank and out of harm's way. can see the other side of the valley, or the other side of the gorge, what it looks like. It runs all the way down to where the car park was. So we found what we thought was some sort of material that they put down to keep the track combined so it didn't wash away, but in fact it's actually the root of the baobab tree. Interesting. It hasn't totally dried up. There's still a little bit of water in the little pools in the creek as we walked along it. Well, that was an interesting walk. Man, it just continues to surprise. It was well worth the walk in there. It was took us about half an hour, a bit more. Stopped for photo shots and things. So no, we're at nearly back to the car park. So I think we'll probably have some water. We might. What do you reckon, Les? We might go for a drive up to that other one.
Yeah, we'll go up to the other one, have a look at the campground and see what the go is. But I believe the walks up there are shut. But, you know, we'll still go and check it out.
Yeah.
Very good. So there's lots of plants and bush tomatoes up there, so that's one of the food sources of the locals in hard times, probably.
I think so.
Yeah, it is a baobab. The soft inner part of the Gerdewin baobab fruit is mixed with water to make sharp tasting pasta. The seeds are also eaten after they've been crushed, mixed with water. Sometimes a meal is made by mixing the seeds and pith together.
Then it was a quick trip back to camp. G'day, fella. Had your picture taken? You had your picture taken before.
How hard is it, eh?
a dingo run in the morning. Oh, oh dear. Well, Keep River National Park. What an absolute bloody cracker. We really have enjoyed the last 2 days in here. And this is the bit we do enjoy doing. So, a couple of nice walks. Nothing too strenuous, nothing too long, but really, really well done. You know, as I said before, the Northern Territory Parks and Wildlife Service need a pat on the back. They just do a great job. So today we're going to go through to Kununurra, we hope, because Liz can only find one of the border passes. Funnily enough, hers. So there could be some conspiracy here. I could get left at the border. So we've got to try and kind of get some phone service and download the email. If not, hopefully they've got paper ones. They know how to use a paper and a pen when we actually get to the border. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens. So we'll keep you updated with that a little bit later this morning. So we're about 60 k's from Kununurra, so it's a nice little, just a jaunt in. We've still got a day or two up in the bank, so we've sort of done what we need to do here. And there's a lot of stuff in Kununurra, so rather than just calling in and staying overnight and restocking, we're going to make the most of those couple of extra days and have a look around there.
There you go, that wasn't too hard.
No. Well, we sat in the car park and got my
G2
pass.
Right, we need to ring this caravan park, John.
Righto, we're into WA. Yeah, so across the border, WA, look out. Photography tour, here we come. In the next episode, we tick Ivanhoe's Crossing off our bucket list, discover some amazing waterfalls, I fall in love with my new camera, and we explore the floodplains of the Ord River. It's actually the route of the Boab.
Pronunciation of oo in Aboriginal name is as the oo in pool. Ooh. Okay, ooh. So that's Jennamoo walk. Ooh, as in pool or school.
Ooh. So it's Jennamoo. Moon. No, you moon. No, it's moon. It's O. It's pool. Moon. Jennamoo.